The air is sharp, almost cruel, outside the courthouse that morning. Christine Brown stands motionless at the top of the steps, her hand clenching the edge of her coat as if it were the last barrier of defense. Her lawyer says something to her in a low tone, but Christine does not reply. Her gaze is fixed on the building, tall, cold, heavy with judgment, a place where her marriage will be legally declared over, although emotionally, it had been so much longer. Inside, the cameras of TLC are nowhere to be found. This isn't reality TV anymore. This is real reality. The kind that bruises. Case 247, Brown versus Brown. The judge's voice echoes across the courtroom. Kody enters next in a fitted navy suit. His hair is slicked back, his jaw tight. For years, he was the center of their world, the husband, the father, the one everyone followed. The room doesn't revolve around him anymore. It watches him. It studies him. Christine looks down as he passes, refusing to meet his eyes. The tension between them is palpable. The air thick with what isn't said. Regret, resentment, and the faintest trace of something else. Maybe grief. "Mrs. Brown, are you ready to proceed?" asks the judge. Christine nods slowly. "Yes, Your Honor." Her voice doesn't shake, but her hands do. The first witness is called, Janelle Brown. She walks in, steady, confident. Yet her eyes flicker nervously toward Kody. She's not just a witness, she is family. She takes a deep breath and begins. "Kody always said, family comes first," she says, testifying. But it felt like we stopped being family the moment Christine found her voice. Kody's attorney stands up immediately. "Objection, subjective." The judge sighs. "Overruled. Continue, Mrs. Brown." Janelle looks over at Christine. For just a moment, the two women share a wordless understanding. Those kinds of understandings that are built from years of surviving the same storm. "He isolated us," Janelle continues. "When one wife disagreed, he turned to the others for validation. He made love conditional on loyalty. And when Christine stopped playing along, he punished her with silence." The courtroom shifts. Pens scribble. Reporters lean forward. Kody's lawyer quickly counters, painting a very different story. A husband misunderstood. A man betrayed by a wife who wanted fame over family. Christine's face doesn't flinch, but her heart starts to pound. Her mind races back to nights when she sat awake, wondering how love could turn into fear so quietly. "Mrs. Brown," the lawyer presses, "isn't it true that you discussed leaving months before any alleged mistreatment?" Christine takes a deep breath. "Yes, because by then, I already knew. I wasn't his wife anymore. I was his responsibility." The judge orders a short recess. Christine steps outside into the hallway, where the world is quieter but no less heavy. Her lawyer instructs her to remain composed and to concentrate on the facts. But Christine knows that the facts are not what are killing her. It's the memories. Flashback to a year earlier. The living room of the Flagstaff house. Christine sits alone, holding a half-written note. Kody stands by the doorway. Arms crossed. "You're just giving up?" he asks, his tone a mix of anger and disbelief. "I'm finally standing up, Kody," she says softly. "There's a difference." He laughs, but it's cold. "You think the world will believe you? You think they'll side with you when they see the truth?" Christine looks into his eyes. They already do. The flashback dissolves, and the courtroom snaps back into focus. Christine returns to her seat, her expression hardened. It's not about marriage anymore. It's about accountability. Robin is called to the stand as the court resumes. It's like a theatrical moment. Nervous eyes, trembling hands clutching a tissue. Robin, Christine's attorney starts off delicately. You were close to both Kody and Christine. Have you ever seen them in a tense situation? Robin hesitates, her eyes darting to Kody. I saw arguments, yes, but I also saw love. Kody tried to fix things. Christine, she just wanted out. The air turns electric. Christine's lawyer presses further, her voice firm but calm. Did you ever hear Kody raise his voice to her? Robin's lips part, but no words come out. Silence answers louder than any sentence would have. Kody leans forward, his jaw clenched. Enough, he mutters under his breath, but everyone hears it. The judge warns him to stay silent. Christine watches him now in a strange calm. The man who once made her doubt her own worth has finally lost control, this time in front of witnesses. The next witness is one nobody expected, Mary Brown. The courtroom murmurs as she makes her way to the stand. It's been months since Mary has uttered a word about this family in public. Her face isn't readable, but her presence does something to the room. She's sworn in, and Christine's lawyer approaches. Mary, you've been part of this family from the beginning. You've seen it all. What do you believe caused this marriage to collapse? Mary exhales slowly. Control. And silence. The kind that eats at you until you start disappearing. Kody's face darkens. Mary, that's not fair. The judge cuts him off again. Mr. Brown, you'll have your turn. Mary continues. For years, I thought loyalty meant obedience, but loyalty means honesty. And honesty never had a place in that house. Christine stares at her, eyes shining. This is the first time in years Mary publicly defends her. For that brief second, Christine's pain softens to gratitude. The gavel hits the wood. The session ends for today. Christine doesn't get up as everybody else leaves. The room is empty and yet full of ghosts. Finally, the truth has started to appear, but it's only the beginning. Christine looks at the now empty chair that had held Kody. Tomorrow, new witnesses will be seated there, telling new truths, the kind that will break what's left of their family forever. And as the lights in the courtroom fade, the camera catches Christine whispering to herself, let them hear everything. She's not afraid anymore. Day 2 begins beneath an imposing bank of gray clouds, as though the clouds themselves know what's coming. Every seat is filled inside the courthouse. Reporters, spectators, even a few old fans of Sister Wives, they've all come to see the Browns' empire of love put on trial. Christine enters quietly, her expression steady, but her fingers trembling as she clutches her folder of documents. Her lawyer leans in and whispers, today, we lead with the truth. Let Kody bury himself in his own words. Kody walks in moments later, chin high, his confidence rehearsed. His eyes dart to the witness list. Though he knows someone unexpected is testifying today, somebody who could shatter the story he's been trying to protect. The judge calls order. We shall proceed from where we left off. Your defense may proceed, Mr. Brown. Kody's attorney gets up, composed and articulate. Your Honor, my client would like to rectify some misunderstandings heard yesterday. We intend to show that Mrs. Brown's story is not one of abuse, but one of resentment. A resentment born out of fame, jealousy, and her own choices. Christine looks down. She has heard it all before, but this time she is not alone. Call your first witness, the judge orders. To the surprise of all, Robin is called back to the stand. Kody's eyes plead silently with her, but she looks terrified, caught between truth and loyalty. Mrs. Brown, the attorney begins smoothly. Did Christine ever express anger toward you or Kody for your relationship? Robin's voice is small. Yes. She said she felt left out, that Kody wasn't fair, And was Kody unfair? She hesitates. He tried his best. We all made mistakes. Christine's attorney leans forward. Robin, is it true you once told Christine she needed to obey Kody more if she wanted peace? Robin's eyes widen. I might have said something like that, but I didn't mean it or didn't want it recorded. The courtroom gasps softly. Kody's lawyer objects, but the damage is already done. Robin looks crushed under the weight of her own words. The next name called freezes the room. Savannah Brown, Christine and Kody's daughter. She's only 18, and this is the first time she's spoken out publicly. The gallery falls silent. As she takes the stand, Christine looks torn, pride and pain twisted together. Kody stares straight ahead, refusing to meet his daughter's eyes. The lawyer's tone softens. Savannah, we know this is difficult. Just tell the court what you remember. Her voice shakes, but doesn't break. Dad stopped coming around after Mom told him she wanted space. He said it was my mom's fault that our family was falling apart. But it wasn't. We just wanted peace. Kody suddenly speaks up. Savannah, that's not true. The judge slams the gavel. Mr. Brown, you will remain silent until you are called. Savannah's tears well up and roll down her cheeks. I just wanted him to listen, but he didn't want to hear anything unless it made him look good. Christine closes her eyes. This moment, raw, public, painful, is what she feared most. But it's also what sets her free. After a recess, Kody takes the stand himself. His posture is rigid, his tone defensive but charismatic. Years on television have taught him how to perform under pressure. I was a husband trying to hold a family together, he begins. Christine wanted independence more than unity. And when the cameras stopped rolling, she changed. Christine's attorney steps forward. Mr. Brown, would you say that your love for Christine was unconditional? Of course. He stops. Then why did you tell her she'd lose your affection if she didn't obey your rules? Kody blinks. That's taken out of context. Then please, give us the context. Kody's voice tightens. It was about family order, about respect. She wanted to make her own choices, but we had an agreement. The lawyer presses. An agreement or control? Kody's silence stretches too long. Reporters jot furiously. The judge watches with quiet curiosity. In the back row, Robin bows her head, unable to look up. Christine's voice cuts through the tension. Kody, she says quietly, you loved control more than you ever loved me. It's not part of the testimony, but everybody hears it. The truth drops like thunder. The lawyer picks up a small flash drive from the table and says, Your Honor, we'd like to introduce new evidence, an audio recording from 2021. Kody's lawyer objects. That recording was private. Not if it reveals coercion, the lawyer replies. The judge nods. Admitted. The audio fills the courtroom. It's Kody's voice, angry and cold. If you leave, Christine, you'll ruin everything. You'll turn them against me, and I won't forgive that. The room is silent. Christine looks down, the tears slipping quietly down her cheeks. Kody looks shaken, caught between rage and humiliation. That was taken during a fight. Everyone says things they don't mean. But he doesn't look convinced. The recording continues. You're either with me or against me. There's no in-between. Even onlookers look elsewhere. The man who once preached unity is exposed now by his own voice. Christine finally raises her head, and her eyes are clear and strong. That's why I left, she whispers. The gavel strikes once. Court will adjourn until tomorrow. Everyone starts to get up and leave. But Christine remains seated again, staring at the empty witness stand. Her lawyer reaches out and lightly touches her arm. "You did it. You survived the hardest day." Christine smiles faintly. "No," she says. "The hardest day was pretending I was okay." Outside, rain begins to fall. Reporters shout questions. Flashbulbs burst. And somewhere in the chaos, Kody's voice echoes faintly. "This isn't over." And Christine, stepping into the rain, answers softly to herself. "It's only just beginning." The third morning dawns with a strange quiet. No reporters yelling, no chatter from the spectators. The whole courthouse is holding its breath. The previous day's audio had already made headlines online, but today, everyone knows that something big is coming. Christine walks through the metal detectors with her head high. The exhaustion is etched in her face, but somewhere in her spirit, it's different. Lighter, sharper. She's not walking in as a victim anymore. She's walking in as someone ready to end this war. Her lawyer hisses. Today, it's about evidence, not emotion. Christine just nods a little. Then let's show them everything. Kody walks in moments later, flanked by his lawyer and Robin. He looks tired, his usual confidence cracked. Outside, the fans had turned. Some were still chanting Christine's name. For a man who once led 4 women under one roof, the courtroom feels colder than any empty house. The judge takes his seat. "We will resume proceedings. Mrs. Brown, your counsel may proceed with evidence presentation." Christine's lawyer rises, holding a thick binder of documents. "Your Honor, today we will present text communications and financial records that speak directly to the emotional and financial control exerted over Mrs. Brown during her marriage." Kody's attorney immediately objects. "Relevance?" The judge frowns. "Overruled. Proceed." Christine stands silent as her attorney starts to show screenshots of late-night texts from Kody, full of blame, manipulation, and guilt trips. Each one was read in silence by the courtroom, each word heavier than the last. "If you do not show me loyalty, you will lose my protection. I gave you everything, and this is how you repay me. Remember, no one will believe you without me." Kody shakes his head, muttering. Those were private messages, twisted out of meaning. But Christine doesn't look at him. She's looking at Robin, who now stares at the screen, lips trembling. She's starting to realize how deep Kody's control truly went. Christine's lawyer calls the next witness, Janelle Brown. The courtroom murmurs. Janelle looks composed but weary. She walks to the stand, swears in, and sits down. "Mrs. Brown," the attorney begins, "you were a part of this family for decades. Can you tell the court what the household atmosphere was like during the months before Christine left?" Janelle takes a deep breath. "It was like living in a house with walls made of eggshells. You could feel the cracks before you ever saw them." The lawyer nods. "Did you ever see Kody use financial control against Christine?" Janelle looks over at Kody, then back at the lawyer. "Yes. He'd say the family money was shared. But when Christine wanted to use it, it suddenly wasn't hers. He'd make her ask permission for everything, even groceries sometimes." Kody's attorney rises in protest, but Janelle doesn't stop. Her voice grows stronger. And when Christine started thinking about leaving, he froze her access to their joint account. Told her she was being punished for breaking the covenant. The words hang heavy in the air. Kody's lawyer starts to argue, but the judge raises a hand. "Let her finish." Janelle's eyes shine with tears. "I used to think loyalty meant keeping quiet, but silence became the reason we all suffered." Christine looks at her, tears forming in the corners of her eyes. Gratitude, sadness, and relief all mixed together. Then, When Christine thinks she's heard it all, her lawyer calls his next witness, a name that makes her freeze. It's Jonathan. Robin Brown. Kody turns sharply, whispering, "You don't have to do this." Robin looks pale, her hands shaking. "Yes, I do." She approaches the stand slowly. She doesn't say anything for a moment. Then, in a quavering voice, she says, "Kody wasn't always cruel, but the man he became, I don't recognize him anymore." Christine's jaw tightens. Robin continues, "He told me Christine was dangerous, that she was trying to destroy us. He made me believe her independence was rebellion. I helped isolate her, and I'm sorry for that." The room goes silent. Even the judge hesitates momentarily before proceeding with, "Mrs. Brown, you are saying that Mr. Brown encouraged you to influence the other wives against Christine?" Robin nods weakly. "Yes, he said it was to protect the family's image, but it was control, and I let it happen." Kody slams his hand on the table. "Robin, stop it. You're twisting everything." The judge snaps, "Mr. Brown, one more outburst and I'll hold you in contempt." Robin starts crying softly. "He told me Christine was ungrateful, that she'd make us all look like fools if she left. And when she finally walked away, he told me to smile for the cameras, like nothing happened." Christine wipes a tear from her cheek and whispers, "Thank you." Robin steps down and Christine exhales shakily. For the first time, the courtroom feels like it's leaning in her favor. But then Kody's lawyer stands up, his voice slick and cold. "Your Honor, my client requests a short recess to prepare a rebuttal. We have new material that challenges the credibility of these witnesses." The judge agrees. "We'll resume after lunch." Outside, the crowd is buzzing with chaos. The reporters are everywhere. Some shout Christine's name, others hound Kody for comment. Christine stands under the courthouse columns, looking towards the sky. "He's not done," she whispers. Her lawyer sighs. "He's desperate now." "Desperate men make mistakes." She nods. "Good. Let him." Yet, deep down, she feels a flicker of fear, because Kody had always kept something hidden, something he never wanted anyone to see, not even Robin. And as the court resumes that afternoon, Kody's lawyer walks in with a sealed envelope. He smirks slightly. "Your Honor," he says, "we'd like to introduce Exhibit 14, an email exchange between Mrs. Brown and a member of the production team of TLC." Christine frowns. "What is this?" The lawyer smiles. "Proof that your client orchestrated aspects of her escape for media attention, long before she ever filed for divorce." The gallery gasps. Reporters scribble wildly. Christine's face goes pale. "That's not true," she whispers. But the attorney won't stop. These emails show Mrs. Brown discussing a documentary pitch about the truth behind polygamy before any alleged abuse occurred. Sounds like a plan to profit from a breakup, doesn't it? The courtroom erupts. Kody sits back, satisfied. Christine's lawyer requests the documents. As they read them, their expression changes in a mixture of confusion and disbelief. "These are doctored," they mutter. "This isn't her writing." The judge orders the originals for his review, but the seed is already sown. The spectators start whispering. The energy shifts. Christine stares at Kody. "You did this?" He leans forward, his voice low and venomous. "You wanted a show, Christine. Now you've got one." As the session ends, Christine feels the weight of everything pressing down on her once more. The whispers, the cameras, the betrayal. But this time, there's a difference when she steps outside. Janelle and Robin walk beside her, silently united. The world might doubt her, but the people who once feared Kody now see him as he truly is. And tomorrow, When the case resumes, Christine plans to do something she's never done before. Take the stand herself. The truth isn't a weapon anymore. It's her voice. By Joyce Nance the next morning weighs heavier than any. Outside the courthouse, low murmurs hum in the air, like a quiet storm brewing. Reporters stand shoulder to shoulder, holding up microphones, cameras flashing at every glimpse of Christine Brown. Today, it's her turn. No more witnesses, no more secondhand stories. Today, Christine herself will take the stand. She walks through the courthouse doors slowly, her navy blue dress matching her courage. Every step echoes like the drumbeat of resolve. Her lawyer whispers, "Remember, tell your truth. Don't defend it. Live it." She nods just once. "I have been defending him for years. Today, I defend myself." Inside, Kody sits rigid, his jaw set tight. His lawyer murmurs something in his ear, but Kody doesn't respond. His eyes follow Christine, who walks to the witness stand. The woman who once looked at him with devotion now looks like one ready to dismantle the kingdom he built. Christine raises her right hand, promises to tell the truth, and sits. The silence in the courtroom is alive. Her lawyer starts off softly. "Christine, tell us, in your own words, what your marriage was like in those final years." Christine inhales, her voice calm but weighted. "It was like living in a house where love had an expiration date. Every rule, every choice, every emotion had to fit his version of obedience. I stopped being a partner and became property." Kody's attorney immediately objects. "Speculative." The judge cuts in. "Overruled. Let her speak." Christine's eyes shine. "He'd say he was the spiritual leader. That meant what he wanted wasn't just law, it was divine. And when I questioned that, he said I was breaking our covenant. I was tired of apologizing for existing." The courtroom is quiet. Even the air seems frozen. Christine's attorney speaks again. "Christine, do you recognize the emails presented yesterday? Those suggesting you plotted to profit from the breakup?" Christine nods. "Yes, I saw them. And no, they aren't mine." The lawyer steps closer. "Did you ever contact a TLC producer before the separation to plan a tell-all?" "No. I told them after I left that I didn't want to pretend anymore. I wanted freedom, not fame." Kody's attorney stands again. "Mrs. Brown, you say those emails are forgeries. Do you have any proof?" Christine leans forward. "Not yet, but I have something better. Memory." The courtroom stirs. Kody's lawyer smirks. "Memory isn't evidence." Christine's attorney speaks calmly. "Maybe not, but metadata is." A hush falls as Christine's lawyer holds up a printed report. These emails were traced. The sender's IP address is from the same internet network registered under Mr. Kody Brown's business account. Gasps ripple through the room. Kody's attorney jumps up. "Objection. That's..." The judge cuts in sharply. "Overruled. Continue." Christine turns to Kody, her voice shaking but firm. "You tried to make me look like a liar, but you forgot something, Kody. I stopped needing your approval a long time ago." Color drains from Kody's face. His fingers twitch, but he says nothing. The lawyer moves on. "What do you want from this court?" Christine takes a deep breath. "Peace, not revenge. I want the legal end to something that spiritually ended years ago. I want my children to know that silence isn't strength. Speaking up is." The judge nods, impressed by her poise, but Kody's lawyer isn't done. He stands, his tone slick. "Mrs. Brown, you talk about peace, yet here you are, turning your personal life into a spectacle. Why bring this fight into public view?" Christine's expression doesn't budge. "'Cause I lived too many years in private pain. The silence didn't save me, it buried me. Talking about it is not spectacle. It is survival. A murmur of support ripples through the audience. Even a few of the reporters lower their cameras for a moment. Kody can't hold his silence any longer. "You're making me a villain," he snaps. Christine finally meets his eyes. "You wrote the script, Kody. I just stopped acting." The judge slams the gavel down. "Order." Christine's lawyer looks uncomfortable, flipping through their notes. "Christine, I have to ask something difficult. Do you know about any financial transfers in your name over this last year?" Christine frowns. "No, I don't handle any of Kody's accounts." The attorney hesitates, then raises another document. "Then can you explain why $75,000 was withdrawn from your joint property trust with your digital signature?" Christine's blood runs cold. "What?" Kody's lawyer smirks. "Perhaps our client isn't as innocent as she claims." Her attorney scans the papers. "This signature, this isn't hers." But Kody's attorney leans forward. "It's legally verified, unless you're suggesting someone forged it." Christine looks straight at Kody. His face is unreadable, calm, almost smug. She whispers, "You forged my name?" He shrugs slightly. "You left the family. I had to protect our assets." The courtroom erupts with noise, shock, anger, disbelief. The judge bangs the gavel repeatedly. "Order! Order!" Christine's lawyer immediately requests a handwriting analysis. The judge agrees, but the damage is emotional, not procedural. Christine feels the betrayal pierce deeper than any testimony. He didn't just lie. He erased her. Christine wipes her tears and stands, uninvited. "Your Honor, I need to say something." The judge nods. "Proceed." She pivots to the courtroom, her voice raw. "I thought submission was love. I thought forgiveness meant silence. But what he did to me wasn't love. It was control. And if I don't speak now, he'll keep doing this to someone else." Her words hang in the air like thunder. The whole room is immobile. Even Kody looks taken aback. Then Christine steps down from the stand, without waiting for permission. She walks straight past Kody, who tries to meet her eyes. She doesn't look at him. Cameras flash as she exits the courtroom. But she's not running from anything anymore. Outside, she breathes in the crisp air, her tears drying fast. Janelle rushes to her side, hugging her tightly. "You did it. You said everything." Christine nods, her voice low. He still has power, but only until the truth finishes speaking. Inside the courtroom, the judge schedules the next session for the final phase, verdict and closing statements. But there is one surprise entry on the docket, a witness listed under anonymous. Nobody knows who it is, not even Christine. For the first time in days, the confident smile that had taken residence on Kody's face falters, because he knows deep down who that mystery witness could be and what they might reveal. The morning of the verdict feels like the eye of a storm. After weeks of testimony, tears, and tension, the courthouse is once again full, every seat taken, every breath shallow. Christine sits at the plaintiff's table, her face calm but pale. Kody sits across from her, his jaw clamped tight, whispering quickly with his attorney. No one knows what the judge will decide. But the real buzz isn't about the verdict. It's about the anonymous witness listed for today. The voice of the bailiff echoes. All rise. The judge enters. His expression is unreadable. Papers rustle. The air hums with electricity. Before we move to closing statements, the judge begins. The court will hear from a final witness. They have requested partial anonymity due to safety and privacy concerns. Please proceed. Christine looks confused. Her lawyer whispers, "We didn't call anyone else." Kody frowns, looks toward the courtroom door. Then, the doors open. A figure steps in, slow and deliberate, and the murmurs start straight away. Cameras flash. It's Janelle Brown. Kody's eyes widen. "No," he whispers. Janelle walks to the stand, her expression steady, her shoulders square. She takes the oath, sits, and meets Kody's stare. "You once told me, Kody, that loyalty was silence. But silence is the reason we're all broken." The courtroom holds its breath. Christine looks both surprised and relieved. Janelle briefly turns toward her before facing the judge. "I wasn't supposed to speak. I promised myself I'd stay neutral. But after what I've seen in this courtroom, the lies, the forgery, the manipulation, I can't keep quiet anymore." Kody's attorney stands up abruptly. "Objection. This witness has personal bias." The judge waves him off. "Proceed, Miss Brown." Janelle opens a folder. "I have copies of financial transfers from Kodiak Enterprises, one of Kody's registered companies. The same company used to move the $75,000 under Christine's name. The transfers show Kody moved family funds into a private account under a different identity, one he used to pay legal and PR expenses." The crowd gasps. Christine covers her mouth. Kody stands abruptly. "That's a lie." The judge slams the gavel down. "Sit down, Mr. Brown." Janelle's voice doesn't shake. "You told us the money was for family property, but you were paying a PR firm to destroy Christine's image online before this trial even began. You didn't want justice. You wanted control." Kody's lawyer tries to recover. "Your Honor, this is circumstantial." But the judge cuts in. "Ms. Brown, do you have documentation?" Janelle nods. "I do." She passes the papers to the bailiff. The judge scans them carefully, then looks up. "These records show a clear pattern of concealment and misrepresentation. I'm admitting them into evidence." Kody sinks back in his chair. For the first time, his confidence is gone. Christine looks at Janelle. Her eyes fill with gratitude. They share a silent moment between sisters. Two women who once lived under the same man's rule, now standing free in truth. The judge sighs. "We will move to closing statements." Christine's lawyer rises. "Your Honor, this case was never about revenge. It was about visibility. About a woman told for years that obedience was her only worth. Christine Brown stood here not to destroy a man, but to reclaim her dignity. The evidence shows deceit, emotional manipulation, and financial abuse. Today, we ask for full legal separation, financial restitution, and sole control over her public representation." Kody's attorney stands up, his voice strained. "Your Honor, this is a family matter that's been twisted by media sensationalism. My client may have made mistakes, but he's been portrayed unfairly. We ask for leniency and the dismissal of all financial claims." The courtroom goes silent. With a deep breath, the judge adjusts her glasses and commences to read. In reviewing testimony and evidence, it is the judgment of this court that Christine Brown is granted full legal and financial independence from Kody Brown. All funds misappropriated under her name will be returned with damages. Further, this court acknowledges emotional and reputational harm. Christine's lips tremble. She exhales, not in joy, but in release. The judge continued in a steady tone. "The court finds your conduct deceptive and coercive. You, Mr. Brown, are ordered to submit an independent audit of all business holdings related to family assets." Kody bends his head. For once, he doesn't argue. The gavel comes down. Bam. Case closed. Reporters scramble out, phones buzzing with breaking news alerts. Cameras swarm onto the courthouse steps. Christine stands motionless a moment. Janelle walks over and hugs her. You did it. Christine shakes her head softly. We did it. They step outside together. The sun breaks through gray clouds, symbolic perhaps, but fitting. A reporter shouts, Christine, any comment? She gives a faint smile. Tell them I'm finally free. And freedom doesn't need an apology. The crowd erupts in cheers. Meanwhile, inside the courthouse, Kody stays seated. Robin enters quietly, visibly shaken. What happened, Kody? He looks down at the floor. They didn't just leave me. They exposed me. Robin sighs, welling tears. Maybe it's time you stopped hiding. He doesn't answer, just stares at the empty courtroom. The empire of his making, now a graveyard of lost loyalty. Later that evening, Christine drives home alone. The radio hums softly. She passes by the old cul-de-sac they once filmed Sister Wives in. For the first time, it feels like a distant memory, someone else's life. She whispers to herself, I'm done being someone's storyline. Her phone buzzes, a message from Janelle. Proud of you. Tomorrow starts new. Smiling, a single tear slides down Christine's cheek. Tomorrow starts free. The screen fades to black.